Hi everybody, thank you for joining me here on Messy Girl Crafts. My name is Ashley. If you're new here, welcome in. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome home. Today we are going to be whipping on Angel of Justice. I have had this whip going since February 11th of 2025. So I definitely have been kind of giving this canvas some love recently. My prior whip that I was working on outside of like finishing my Jaded Gem Shop mini sushis was Embrace of the Pumpkin by W.I.P, but that's currently potentially in the mix for my Drills and Chills canvas, which that is a diamond painting event. If you don't know what that is, Drills and Chills, it starts in September and it goes through the end of October. So it's a 2-month event. It's hosted by Diamonds and Washi, Katie, and Emeralds and Fairy Lights, which is Lindsay. So those two are the co-hosts, and it's a great event. It was my very first diamond painting event I ever participated in, and so I definitely wanted to do it again this year, even though I have a lot going on. And so when I had my members vote on what canvas I'd be kitting up for that event, I decided to give them the option of a new canvas or that canvas, which is very much in theme and I'm currently working on. So I decided to go on a hiatus of working on that canvas right now, because if it's selected, I want there to be like a majority of that canvas left to finish, so that way it still feels like I'm working on like a newer project. I've only gotten like 2 3/4 rows done on that canvas, so there's like more than halfway to go there. But this one, again, this is my longest standing whip that I still have in rotation right now. Again, this was started in February for the Dakota-thon. I was kind of doing it alongside the Dakota-thon event that happened earlier this year. And so I kind of went on a hiatus because then I kitted up my big Ivy Dollamore canvas for the Ivy Dollamore DP along that I helped co-host with Michaela and Courtney. So it's just been like, earlier in the year, there were like a lot of events going on, because then that led into Summer with the Masters, which is my other whip going on right now. So most of the things that I've kitted up and that I'm working on right now are event focused from previous events that happened this year. And so I'm just kind of trying to like dwindle those down while also adding some new kits that are focused on like the fall winter months, and also just like for all the extra events that are coming in the rest of the season. So it's a balance, but I'm balancing it well, I think. This one is such a dream to work on. I've been working on a couple different small shop canvases recently, and again, like, no shade to them, but I definitely prefer the Diamond Art Club drills. I was actually originally very intimidated by Diamond Art Club drills because they just feel so much smaller than other companies' drills, but actually I've gotten really used to it and I just love the way that they fit together. Everything is just so snug and they're small and they just place really well. I don't know. Again, I'm spoiled, but I also have been having fun with my other canvases too, but I haven't worked on a DAC in a while. So to come back to this one, I feel like I'm actually accomplishing, when I'm working on a canvas, I'm actually getting more drills down in one sitting because I'm placing faster, because it's like riding a bike. You never forget. So right now I am working on, like I said, Angel of Justice by Dakota Daetwiler. This one, I'm pretty much, once I finish these 3 squares here, I will be at the halfway point. I'm currently finishing this section right here. I'm almost done with it. Hopefully I'll definitely finish this section in the video today. But then my plan is to do these 3 big sections here, and then just keep moving down the canvas, at least until I get into Drills and Chills territory, which at that point I will kit up that kit and I will kind of focus on that kit for a while, hopefully to completion. And then at the end of October, then I'll start rotating in my other whips again. Because again, I would love, in a dream world, I would love to have this canvas finished and the Tea Party by Ivy Dollamore from Diamond Art Club. I would love to have both of those finished before the end of 2025, plus whatever my Drills and Chills canvas is, whether that's Embrace of the Pumpkin or another canvas. I would love to have all of those done by the end of 2025, because I definitely want to kit up at some point the mother and child canvas for Eli's room. That's like the mermaid and the baby mermaid canvas from Diamond Art Club. I definitely want to do that one. If it ends up kind of being a 2026 canvas, it's not the end of the world. I won't mind kind of working on that canvas even if he's already born, just as kind of like a side project going on. But like, I definitely want to get his room together sooner than later, so that way I'm not really worried about like being super pregnant, having to like move things around the room or like hang pictures. Like, I kind of want all of that stuff to be done before 2026, but if that one is still a whip, it's not that big of a deal. I can see myself ideally kitting up that canvas in like maybe November or December, one of the two. I'm really lucky in that I get 2 weeks off for Christmas because I work for a university. So the university will be closed during that time. And so I'm going to probably get a lot of work done on whatever canvases I'm working on towards the end of the year, because I have that 2 week period where I'm not working at all and I can be home all day just like hanging out and nesting and just getting ready and relaxing before baby comes in February of next year. But what was I going to say? Oh, normally during like the holiday season, I do a lot of traveling, but obviously because I'm going to be in my 3rd trimester and very, very pregnant, Eric and I are kind of on lockdown after Thanksgiving. Like, we're really not planning to go anywhere. We're actually on lockdown after I come back from my cousin's wedding, which is November 15th. So when we come back from that trip, like, we are not planning to go anywhere that's not like a short car distance away. So that's kind of the plan, is like my December is going to be very homey and chill, which I'm actually really excited about because I have been itching recently to bake. I don't know what is wrong with me. I don't know. Maybe it's like the motherly instincts. I don't know. All I want to do is whip out my KitchenAid mixer. And I think it was last year. Yeah, I think it was last year. I bought a cookbook that was all different types of cookies. And I love baking cookies, especially around the holiday season. And I like testing new recipes. And I have some tried and true ones that everyone requests from me every year. But then I also have some ones that are like, I want to experiment. Last year, I posted it in my community chat, actually on YouTube. I posted the recipe for these cilantro lime cookies. They were like cilantro lime sugar cookies. Oh my gosh, they tasted so good. It was like that Fruit Loopy taste. And you might hear the name like with cilantro and you're like, ew. No, you barely taste it. Like, it's so good. So I might make those again. But I've been like dying to bake recently, but I'm trying to stave myself off for like the holiday season, and just like be prepared for that. I'm also low-key terrified because I go to Alaska in 2 weeks, which is insane. I can't believe that we're leaving so soon. We fly out on the 9th of September and we don't get back until the 19th of September. And then that following week, like the week after we get back, or like the week we get back, whatever, because we get back on a Friday, that next week I have my anatomy scan for baby boy Eli, and I'm sure they're gonna weigh me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm about to go on a 2-week cruise, and then they're gonna be like, girl, you need to slow down. I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry, I was on a cruise and they had so much good food. Although Alaska, I mean, I'm not a huge fishy person, but I can't go to Alaska and not try some salmon. So I'll definitely like try some like fish and like good fish that I'm allowed to have. I know there's a lot of fish you're not allowed to have, but I actually have a folder from my doctor that tells me all the things I can and cannot have. So I'm going to bring that with me just so I don't forget. But I'm definitely going to have to try some seafood while I'm there because, I mean, it's just so fresh and known for its delicious goodness. So I'll definitely be adventurous, but, you know, just making sure I'm doing like high protein stuff and all that. And like, I'm definitely going to be walking a lot because a lot of the excursions that Eric and I are doing is significant like walking. I even got new shoes, specifically waterproof shoes that had like a high ankle support for all the walking because, again, I'll be very pregnant, and so I just want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself, and that way I can participate in all of the things. But I'm looking forward to that a lot. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous about going to the doctor the week after the cruise and just being like, please don't kill me. Speaking of the doctor, I did go to the doctor on Friday, which for me was 2 days ago. For you was like last Friday. And we talked about a lot of different things, but one of the cool things was that I got to bring my mom because Eric and I kind of laid out all of the doctor's appointments, like, because they give you a schedule for all of your appointments between like now and when baby's supposed to be born. And so Eric and I sat down and we looked at the schedule and we decided like which ones were the most important for him to be at. Like, obviously he's going to be at the anatomy scan. Obviously he's going to be at all of the appointments in January because we go once a week leading up to when the baby's born. stuff like that. Like he'll be at like the big important ones, but the ones that are just like the little 15-minute check-ins and like we get to hear the baby's heartbeat and like whatever, those ones, you know, my mom's gonna come with me because I don't want to go by myself, but also I don't want Eric to like not waste his time off, but I want him to save as much time as possible so he can use all of that time for parental leave. So my mom came with me on Friday to the doctor, and she got to hear the heartbeat, which was so cute. I actually, I think I have a video of her, like, cause I was laying on the table, but I had my phone and I was filming her. She was filming me. So I'm not going to share her footage cause that would be a hot mess, but I will show you me filming her reaction to hearing the heartbeat for the first time. And you guys will get to hear the heartbeat, which will be fun. But funny story about the heartbeat situation. So the very first OB appointment I had, that was like an official OB appointment where I heard the heartbeat, was just my last appointment back in like July or whatever. And so at that appointment, when the doctor was using the Doppler thing on my stomach to try to find his heartbeat, it took her a minute. And it's not because there's anything wrong with him. It's just because he's still so tiny. You know, it takes a minute. He's still very low in my belly. So it's not like he's like up high up here yet. He's still kind of lower. And so it just takes a minute to find him. But once they found him, like his heartbeat was very strong. And actually this time that we found the heartbeat finally, it sounded a lot louder than it did the last time we found it. And again, I know that can deal with like the positioning of the baby in the uterus. Like if he's further back or further to the side, like sometimes like that could probably affect the loudness of the heartbeat. But this time that my mom and I was there, like you guys will see it in the video. You can, once she gets it right in the right spot, you hear it really loud. And so that's really awesome. The first time we heard the heartbeat, we heard it, but it was softer. It was like you could hear the but it was like very quiet. She had to like hold the thing up to my ear. But this time it was actually like loud and proud, and that was super awesome. But what was funny was, again, luckily I already had the first experience where it took her a minute to find the heartbeat, which was like gave me so much anxiety because I was like, oh my gosh, is he in there? Is he okay? And they warn you before these appointments. They're like, you know, he's still this small. We might not find it. This is that. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. It just means his position might be off or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, fine. This time they're doing it. They're taking a while to find it. And there's 2 medical students that are like observing there with the doctor. So like the doctor has 2 medical students that she's training. So they're just 2 girls. They're standing off to the side, kind of like watching the whole situation. And I was fine with that. And so she's trying to find it. And then I'm just talking to her like while she's trying to find it. I was like, oh, this is what happened last time. It took them a minute to find it, but then they did. They found my heartbeat first. And then he was very close to where my heartbeat was, like when they moved it around a little bit. So that was kind of cool. And then also I mentioned to her that like, oh, the last time that they found him, he was like on this side of my body, and which was ironic because then they found him on the opposite side this time. I was like, he's moving around. And I was just like kind of talking to her just because, again, I'm sure she was like, girl, it's fine. I know what I'm doing. But I just felt like better because this was my mom's first time seeing it too. And I didn't want her to have those same nerves that I did. So I was more talking to my mom, like, it's okay, like, they'll find it, it just takes a minute, or whatever. And so I was, like, talking to her while they were, like, searching. And then at one point, the doctor turns to one of the medical students and was like, hey, get me this, I forgot what she called it, like a bee sting device or sting something. If you guys are nurses or in the medical field, you know what I'm talking about when I describe this object. Let me know what it's called because I can't remember, and I want to ask for it, like, every time. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I want to. It's this device where it's the same kind of like Doppler like machine where it's like it's got that nodule thing and you put the gel down and you're searching this way, but instead of you hearing the heartbeat, you actually have, it looks like a cell phone device almost, and you'll see it in the video, and you see this it's basically like a sonogram. Like you see the baby on this like cell phone device or whatever. And it's so cool. And so again, I don't know what this is yet. Like my mom and I are like, we don't know what they're sending them to go get. We're confused. But she sends the one medical student out to go get this device. And then she's still hunting for the heartbeat with the Doppler machine. And then all of a sudden, she finds the heartbeat right as the other doctor or the medical student comes back with the other device. And we were like, oh, like we were excited to hear the heartbeat, obviously, but we were like, oh, pretend you didn't hear that. We want to see the baby. Because when she was like still searching for the heartbeat, she was like, oh yeah, that machine that we're going to go get, that's so we can see the baby. Like, and I was like, wait, we get to see him today? Because we had no idea we were going to get to see him. To be honest with you, if I knew, sorry, I'm so sniffly. If I knew that I was going to get to see the baby at this appointment, Eric would have taken off work and come with me. Just because like that's like a special thing. But also I'm really happy my mom got to be there and hear the heartbeat and see him, because we never thought that was going to happen. So I was like, doctor, pretend you didn't hear it. We want to see the baby. She's like, no, I'll use it anyway, even though I found the heartbeat. We were like, yay! So she took off the Doppler machine, and then she put the new thing on me, and she was like rolling around, and then she found him like instantly, because this is like an imaging thing. So like she saw him, obviously. And he looked like a real baby. I mean, obviously he's been a real baby the whole time. But I mean, like the first time we got pictures, like the printouts that I showed you guys, he was like a little alien. He's still a little alien, but like you could see like the head was more defined. You can see his facial features. Like I saw his eyes, his nose, his lips. He had his hand. My mom was like, he's waving. He went like this. He was going like this with his, and then his hands were like moving. It was so cool. It was so cool. That appointment was, like I said, on Friday, and I was 16 weeks pregnant for that appointment. But by the time you guys are seeing this video, I'm going to be 17 weeks pregnant, which is so exciting. And so, yeah, that was really, really cool. So we literally got to hear his heartbeat, and we got to see him, and he was like waving at us and being so cute. He looks just like his dad, we've decided, based on the very, weirdly looking sonogram situation. I think he looks like his dad. But yeah, it was just so cool. And we sent the video and the images to like our parents and stuff. Well, obviously my mom was there, but like to his family and to my stepdad who wasn't there, and everybody was just like so excited to see it. But yeah, that appointment went really, really well. And then also, like, after we got to hear the baby's heartbeat and see the baby, I was able to ask some questions. So I know the last Whip and Chat that I shared with you guys about all the drama I've been going through with, like, the insurance and the genetic testing and how they're overcharging us. And just basically everyone's telling me to go fly a kite. No one's helping me. So I talked to the doctor. And I'm like, I tell her the story. By the way, FYI, remember how last time I said I called like a patient? I called a patient advocate, like literally crying in the voicemail. Still have not gotten a call back from that person. They probably think I'm crazy, which is fine, whatever. This is good news that I'm about to share. So I tell my doctor, and this, by the way, because again, they rotate what doctors you see at your appointments just in case any of them deliver your baby. They want you to meet each doctor at least once. This was the doctor that, like, I actually want to deliver my child. Like, this is the doctor, hold on, I'm just grabbing a tissue while I talk to you. This is the doctor that, I saw, like, 5 years ago when I was still trying to conceive. And, she was the one that, like, eventually had to refer me to, a specialist, like, an endocrinologist or whatever. And so, it was, like, so cool to see her after like a long time. She looked the same, and she remembered who I was, which was so special, because I was like, surely she's like not gonna remember who I am, but she did. And she was like, it's so good to see you, and I'm so happy that you're here. And I was just like about to cry. But anyways, I give her the whole sob story about the genetic testing company, and how I called everybody I was supposed to, and everyone told me no, and this, that, and the other. And the whole time she's just like, meanwhile, she's also like doing her job and like charting and taking notes and like doing my thing. And she's like, that's not right. She's like, that's not right. They should not be charging you that much. And then because I mentioned at first, like how the bill on the insurance website was like over $9,000 for one test and over $3,000 for the other test, but then I've gotten one of the bills from the genetic company, and it was like over $700, which is way better than $9,000, but still, it was a lot of money that I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And she was like, yeah, no, like, we like there are like we have reps that we work with, and like we have like a thing with them, and they're only supposed to charge a maximum of like $250. And I was like, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Like, I remember looking it up beforehand, and I just remember it being like, when I was just researching genetic testing, like most places were, or like in general, it was like genetic testing will cost around like $150 to $250, depending on if it's in or out of network. And that was just like not me looking at this company. This was just like when I was early in my pregnancy, just looking up all the tests that I might have to do and stuff, and just like cost. Because when I talked to the financial person that they had give me my insurance information and how much my global bill was going to be, they're the ones who said like genetic testing wasn't part of the global bill. So I did know that that wasn't going to be included in that like $900 something global bill that I was paying, but I wanted to know like about how much it would be. And when I looked it up before I knew that they were just going to send me to this out of network company, I had seen that it was going to be about $250, and so I had mentally prepared for that much, but I did not mentally prepare for over $700 for just half of it, and then who knows what the other one is going to be. So I was like, okay, so you're also feeling like this is weird. She was like, no, absolutely, like that's messed up. She was like, before you leave today, talk to our front desk people, and they will give you the reps. We have 2 reps for specifically our hospital with that company, and we will make sure that like they fix that for you. And I was like, thank you so much. It just felt like it felt kind of crazy that it had to be my doctor to be the one to like help me through that. Like, you would think like all of the customer service agents that I've called over the last like week and a half someone would have been able to like be like, hey, like maybe your place has a rep, or even like when I called the genetic company's billing office to like, how do they not, like when they look me up as a patient and they see where I'm being cared for, how is that not part of their process to be like, oh, I see that you're with this organization, this is the rate that we have for this organization. Like, where was the breakdown? And I know I probably will never get that answer, but that's anytime I have experiences like this with like insurance companies or just customer service in general, anytime I have these like weird happenings where like something went wrong and someone didn't do their job correctly and then I have to call and have someone fix it, it makes me feel so bad for people who like I don't want to say don't know, because I don't know either. Like, it's not like I understand insurance and I understand, but like some people don't even go that extra step of like calling and asking. They just pay for things. They just blindly say, oh, well, I didn't anticipate that, but they're telling me it's due, so I guess I have to pay it. Like, they don't take that extra time or step to like research and be like, this feels wrong, I'm going to do something about it. I can't imagine how much money like people have lost over just giving up and not fighting for themselves, which again, we shouldn't have to fight for ourselves so much. Like, the medical field is crazy that way. It's like you feel like you have to like fight for everything, at least in America. Because I know a lot of you guys were sharing that like, thank God you have global healthcare and stuff, which like, so jealous. But yeah, I feel like it breaks my heart to think that there are people out there like who don't call and don't ask questions and don't try to get it made right for themselves, because like I was at the point where if I had gone to my doctor last week or on Friday and I was like, hey, this is what's happening, and she was like, yeah, that's just how much it costs, and I'm sorry, and blah, blah, blah. I would have been like, you know what, fine, I'm just going to pay it and be sad about it. Like, I was very close to giving up myself just because I was so defeated by the whole situation. But thank God I have really great providers. And it turns out, because I remember last time I had said that I had thought I thought that the girl messed up. I thought that, it wasn't just the girl's fault. So I had thought that the medical assistant or whoever drew my blood at 10 weeks, I thought that they messed up because they didn't educate me on what my options were. And I was confused by that. I was like, well, why would they just automatically send my blood to this out-of-network option that I never have asked for or gone to? And there was an in-network choice. Sorry, I'm trying to find this color, and I cannot find the symbol for the life of me. But like, so I thought that they had messed up. And it turns out that they kind of did, but they kind of didn't. So what had happened was, so, because I said to my doctor, I confronted her about it. I was like, Quest is in network for me, and this other company isn't. And I looked it up, and Quest does do the genetic testing that I was getting from this other out-of-network company. And she was like, yeah, but we sent everyone to this other company because Quest's customer service sucks. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you don't get to make that choice. Like, okay, I get that, like, maybe their customer service isn't great, but, like, to be honest, like, I would rather you have to deal with some bad customer service or maybe wait an extra week for my results than, like, get charged hundreds of dollars more than I should. Like, that should be the patient's decision, not yours, as far as, like, where my stuff goes. Like, just because you prefer this other place, that literally should not matter at all. And so I was kind of taken aback by that statement. But that's when she said, like, oh, but, like, we have a deal with this other company. Because, again, I was like, if it's out of network for people that you're seeing, that, like, the customer, that, it was just so baffling to me that her answer was like, oh, well, the customer service is better with this place. I'm like, you, like, that doesn't matter. Like, it, like, we're talking about hundreds and hundreds, potentially thousands of dollars difference for people. And, like, I have really good insurance, so I could only imagine what other people might have to pay out of pocket for the same service. But then she was like, well, the reason we're so, like, we always send people to this particular organization is because we have a deal with them where they only charge a maximum of, like, $250 or whatever. And then I was like, oh, okay, because I don't know what Quest would have charged me, but I imagine it would probably be similar, because I'm like, and I don't have the energy in me to go figure that out, to be honest. Like, I know I could probably do, like, a cost estimate request from Quest just to be like, what would this be? But it goes back to, like, that defeatist of, like, I'm just so tired of fighting. Like, I'm so tired right now. And I did anticipate it to be about $250. And I don't know, because I know Quest does the NIPT genetic testing, which is just like the generic, like, chromosome disorder test. I don't know if they do the carrier one. So I did get that extra test done, again, just to be safe. So I didn't look up to see if they do the second one that I got. I know for sure they do the first one. They probably do the second one, but again, I don't know what the cost estimate would have been, even with them being in network, what that would have looked like. Maybe it would have been cheaper than $250. I honestly have no idea, but at the end of the day, like, $250 is better than over $900 or over $700 for half. And again, I still to this day have not gotten the second bill for that second test. So I'm like, something's going on here. I think even they're confused at what's happening. Because the last time I checked my portal for my health insurance, they denied the second the second request, and when I asked them about that, when I asked my insurance company, like, well, why did you deny this? And they're like, oh, well, we requested that they send over your medical records. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm thinking, like, does that just mean that once they provide my medical records, like, you're going to run it again and then I'm still going to get charged some surmountable amount of money? You know, like, I don't know what they're doing. So I'm just trying to nip it in the bud before it gets that far. So I'm going to call the reps. There's two. I'm going to call them on Monday, leave them a voicemail or, like, whatever, and then just, like, see where I get from that. I'd like to get this nipped in the bud before I leave for my vacation, just so that way I have that peace of mind. But if not, I can always connect with them when I get back. Like, it is what it is. But yeah, so that's positive news, is that, you know, my doctor was equally like, what the heck? And she was like, you know, we have special reps that you can talk to and they'll take care of it. And I was like, okay. And, you know, I know a lot of you were outraged on my behalf, and I do appreciate that, because I literally felt like I was going crazy. I felt like, how is it that, like, I'm going through all of this and then all these people are acting like, well, we did what we were supposed to. It's like, well, somebody didn't. And honestly, to be really honest, the person that messed up the most was the Natera rep, the genetic company, the billing person that I spoke to, that was like, you know, all we can do is a payment plan. They messed up the most, because there should be some way that they can look up where I'm where I'm going to go get my my care from, and, like, what special affiliations they have with that group for special pricing. You know what I mean? So, and also, you know, I just think that they should do a better job at educating their patients of what to expect. Like, if you're sending a patient to something to a place where you know could be out of network for them, say that, like, up front, be like, hey, just a heads up, this company is out of network for you, but we have a special contract with them, and this is how much at max that they're going to charge you. To me, that just like makes common sense. Like that, like prep your patient for what's coming. Like, especially because like this is my first pregnancy and this is my first like everything. I'm just like, how do you just assume that I'm going to figure all that out? And yeah, I don't know. There was like a bunch of like, it was a perfect storm situation, but I just think that overall, you know, I think I could have been better educated by my facility and my provider. But also I feel like the genetics company should have done a better job at knowing like their affiliation agreements and who they're working with and what pricing they have. Cause like I got charged just like a normal person, but I'm like, if my doctor is literally telling me that there's a special price for our specific hospital because they have reps that like come and like do stuff with them, it's like that, you would think that that's on some sort of note or file somewhere. So I'm just like, I don't know. And again, I'll be interested to see what the reps have to say. Like when I do call those 2 reps, if whoever gets back to me first, I'm going to ask them. I'm going to be like, how do they know? How are they supposed to know that I'm with a place that has a special deal? Like, I'm going to play dumb and I'm going to be like, should I have done something differently? Like, did I mess up here? Should I have said something to somebody? Did I not get informed that I was supposed to make a phone call to somebody? Like I'm willing to take the heat if I didn't do something that I was supposed to do, and like, sorry, it's my first pregnancy and like I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm sure they're gonna say, no, it's not you, it's this and this. Like, I want to know what the this and this is. I want to know where the breakdown happened, and I hope it doesn't happen to future people, because it was like emotionally taxing. And again, I think that like, because I am pregnant, I am higher prone to these emotional breakdowns. I haven't had too many, honestly, like it really hasn't been that bad. But when it came to all the insurance stuff and like the big bills and all that, I definitely kind of broke down a little bit, just because like, you know, I'm one of those people where it's like, I receive information and I ask a lot of questions, but when I receive information, like I digest that and then I plan for that. So it's like, if I'm being told X and I'm planning for X and then Y happens, it's not that I can't pivot. Like, it's not that I'm like bad with change, but I'm bad at like almost like that broken promise effect. Like don't tell me that one thing is going to happen financially and then it's not that way, because it's like, I've been planning for this and then you kind of took it away from me. Speaking of financial planning, I just got a lot of answers this week and it made me feel a lot better about everything. Or at least not even a lot better, just I have more knowledge and understanding than I did a week ago, and knowledge is power for me. So the other thing that I learned, because when I was at the front desk asking for the reps information, I was like, the woman asked me again, she was like, hey, like, how much do you want to pay towards your global bill this week? And I was like, well, I'm pretty sure I'm on, because again, like last week or last appointment, they did the same thing. They were like, what do you want to pay? And I was like, I don't know. What am I, like, you know, so they did it again. It was the same girl. She was like, what do you want to pay? And I was like, aren't you supposed to tell me what to pay? And she was like, well, like, yes, there's a payment plan and you're on one, but she's like, you know, sometimes people owe like thousands of dollars each month towards their payment plan. And I just know that not everyone can be affording to drop thousands of dollars each month on this payment plan based on their insurance and da-da-da-da-da. So I make it a practice to always just ask people what they want to put towards it. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, like, I get that. Like, that, I see where you're coming from, and that's kind of you. Like, and I didn't say this to the girl, like, but, like, that makes sense to me, right? Like, I get it. I get that, like, you're trying to be kind to people who do have, like, astronomical payments, and, like, you're trying to let them tell you how much they want to pay towards their global bill or whatever. And, fine. But my thing is, like, there's a better way to do that. Like, instead of just being like, what do you want to pay? You can say, hi, so-and-so, your monthly payment this month is X. However, if you don't feel comfortable making that payment today, you can let me know how much you're comfortable paying today, and then we will add the remaining balance to your bill. Like, how hard is that? Like, just say that. Just tell them what it's supposed to be. Say, this is what you owe today, but if you can't do that, let me know. We can work it out. And that's because then like people like me who can afford their monthly bill aren't confused. They're not like, what do you mean I can choose whatever number I want? Like, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm being too like picky or whatever, but I just feel like there are better ways to communicate with patients, especially when they're just trying, like, we're just trying to like do what we're told, like literally. And I'm sure other pregnant women are like this too. Like, we have so many other things going on in our lives right now. Like, we really don't need this to be one of the things that we're constantly like worried about and thinking about. Tell us what to do and don't be wrong. Like, tell me what to do and don't lie to me. Is that so hard to ask? I guess it is. I don't know. But yeah. But so because of the whole genetic testing company snafu, like I told you guys last time, I'm being way more diligent about being kind of like asking a million questions and whatever. And so when I was there, while I was still in with the doctor before I went out to the front desk and got more information about the other things I had questions about, I asked the doctor, I was like, so I have a question, like, why am I being sent out of the hospital for my anatomy scan? Because that was another thing that kind of raised the hairs on the back of my neck a little bit after this whole insurance situation. I was like, why would I not just, like, how is it possible that someone at the hospital, we don't have, like, how is there not a maternal fetal medicine doctor at the hospital, like, or like in this medical group? I was like, this makes no sense to me. Like, are you trying to scam me to go to somewhere that's private, that's going to charge me more money? Like, again, my back is all the way up at this point. And my doctor was like, oh no, she was like, we had a bunch of people leave. And so like what those type of people, like the perinatal maternal fetal medicine doctor stuff, like people who can interpret those results, like they all left, like a bunch of them left. I don't think it was because of like something bad happening at the like, I don't think it was like because of something like whatever. They just had a lot of people leave. So they only have like one person left at, like, that works for all of the place that I'm giving birth. Like, it's like one person left and there's too many patients for them to do all of them. So they've been referring out to this other place, like pretty much for everybody, because the person that's internal can't handle the workload of like everything. And so I don't know what makes their decision on who they're sending to the internal person versus who they send to the external person. Maybe they're just letting the internal person finish all of the pregnancies that they were already assigned to prior to everybody else leaving. And then when they said, they were like, we're in the process of trying to like hire new and get more people on board and whatever. But until then, we're sending everybody to this like other location. And I'm like, okay, but like, is it covered through my insurance? Is it whatever? And again, granted, I had already called this other external group that's going to be doing my anatomy scan, and I had asked them for like a cost estimate. And they said, well, since you've already met your imaging deductible, because remember, when I went to my very first appointment to confirm the pregnancy, they did my ultrasound and I got charged my deductible plus 20% coinsurance. So I paid $250 up front to cover the deductible plus like 20%. So I ended up paying like $260 something for that first ultrasound. But now my deductible is met for the rest of the year. So this ultrasound, I'm only paying 20% coinsurance, which will be like a small number. So I spoke to the billing person at the anatomy scan place that they're sending me to. And she said, I would imagine this isn't going to cost you more than $100 at max. And I was like, okay, you're giving me a number. I'm internalizing that number in my mind. And so please know that if it is more than that number, I'm calling somebody. Because it's just like, I just want, again, I just don't lie to me. Don't say it's going to be under 100 and then it comes back and it's 300, or don't tell me it's going to be, oh, your deductible's met, but then it's like, oh, but now it's not met. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, just don't lie to me. Just be accurate in your job. So I'm kind of like banking on this girl not lying to me. And then also the doctor had said, she was like, yeah, they're in network, whatever. We're sending people out there because of this. And I checked, again, I'm so like crazy now. I checked on their website, like on the anatomy scan place's website, and they do list my insurance as in network. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, don't play with me because I've already dealt with this and I really want to just like scream and cry at everybody. So I'm praying for a positive experience. Well, that's the thing. It's not like I had a negative experience with my genetic testing. It actually went flawlessly. Like, I got my results really fast. All my results came back good. Like, I had no issues with communication during that process. It was just the fact of the money part that I was just like incredibly frustrated about. So again, I don't think I'm going to have a bad experience at the doctor's appointment for my anatomy scan. It's more so just like, I'm frustrated by the fact that like people quote me a number and then that number is like literally thrown out the window. So we'll just keep trucking along with that, but I'll keep you guys posted. That'll be after I come back from Alaska. So I think that appointment's on like a Thursday. So probably that whip and chat after I get back from Alaska, we'll talk about how that doctor's appointment went and stuff. Obviously I won't see what the charge is probably till later, but I can tell you guys about how the appointment went and everything, and Eric's gonna go with me to that one, and so I'm really excited about that. Unfortunately, I think I asked when I talked to that one lady, I don't think they let us film, which is so unfortunate. I'm like, not everybody gets to come to these appointments. Like, we want to be able to show them like an ultrasound and stuff, but they get so persnickety about it, which makes no sense to me because I looked up my hospital's policy on filming, and they're like, as long as everybody in the room is okay with it, it's fine. They're like, just no like flash equipment, like, you know, don't bring a whole camera crew in. And I'm like, okay, well, I just have a cell phone and a husband, and that's pretty much it. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, and again, I understand like if like the medical professionals don't want to be on camera, but like I'm filming a screen with my baby on it. Like, other than like the baby is mine, the equipment is yours, but like why whatever. I'm not whatever. I will be respectful of whatever they want, but you know, every time I've had a Doppler thing, like this last time when I recorded the heartbeat, they didn't care that I was filming. I was literally filming, but it's the same place where they told me no. The very first time I went to confirm my pregnancy, they wouldn't let me film the screen where the ultrasound was up on the screen. But then I went back to that same location to get my first heartbeat, to hear the heartbeat, and she did let me record. So maybe it was just a weird sonogram tech that was like weird. I'm going to try again in the future. And again, I'm not being disrespectful. I always ask. Like, I do ask every time, like, is it okay if I record this? And they're usually like, yeah, whatever. And the doctors are the ones saying that. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that girl just had her panties in a bunch that day. Which is just unfortunate because it was my very first one. But I'll let it go. It's fine. The other update, which is so annoying, it's like you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back every time with the whole insurance thing. So, well, sort of. So I get all this good news, right? I'm like, okay, so I'm going to call the reps on Monday, hopefully get that reduced down to a $250 fee, pay it, be done with that drama. I am going to go to my anatomy scan, and I know that they're my insurance covers them, and I'm not going to have a big bill from that either. And I talked to the front desk lady, and she explained to me the payment plan thing and how she was just trying to be nice and like let me pay less than I had to if I couldn't afford it, which again, she probably could have communicated that better, but I understand now. So now I know to say I want to pay what my number is supposed to be. I don't want to pay less than that. And now I probably have to make up a couple dollars from the first one where I just gave them a random number because I didn't know what I was doing. So, all 3 of those were good things. But then, literally on the way home, or right before Eric called me telling me he was on the way home from work on Friday, I got an email from my portal that said like I have a new estimate available to view, which is like anytime there's any kind of portal email about money, my heart like stops at this point because I've become so anxious about it. And there was an email and it was like, oh, you have a new estimate available in your portal. So I go into my portal and I'm already like, what is this going to be? What could this possibly be? And I go in there and they gave me a cost estimate of $1,900 for being admitted to the hospital on October 17th, which has not happened yet. And I'm just like, and again, it was a cost estimate. So it was like, I know that technically when they say that, it's like, you should not be charged more than this. If anything happens, reach out to us, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like so aggravated because I'm like, on the 17th, I have a regular doctor's appointment, just like a check-in with my regular OB. But then, the birthing coordinator person that Eric and I had a telehealth appointment with, like right around the beginning of our pregnancy, she had said that she wants us to meet with the anesthesiologist, but like to talk about like epidurals and this, that, and the other. And so she wants me to meet the anesthesiologist that's at the hospital. And like, we're going to go up into the labor and delivery department and they're going to talk to us. And I was like, okay. And it's probably, and like, it might have something to do with the fact that like it's a high risk pregnancy, because technically I'm overweight. So like maybe it has to do with that. But like, I've gone under anesthesia before and like, it was totally fine. I had no weird side effects that came out of it really fast. Like I didn't have any, like, you know, and again, the anesthesia, they're not going to put me under, they're giving me an epidural potentially. And then even that's not guaranteed. Like I'm only going to ask for the epidural, like if I need to, but I also have been warned, like, don't wait until you're screeching pain to ask for it. Like if you feel like you're getting to a place where you might want it, just ask for it, because it could take the doctor, the anesthesiologist, like 30 minutes to an hour to come to you, because if they're seeing other patients. So trust me, I'm fully informed about like not waiting to the bloody end to ask for one, but also like if the like laughing gas is enough for me, like I would prefer to just use that to stave through my contractions. But again, I'm not against epidurals at all, and everyone I know has gotten one and they're like, it's the best thing ever and you're gonna want one. And I'm like, I'm sure I will, but I just don't want, they recommended, they're like, you know, we ideally like you're more dilated, so that way it's, because like once you get the epidural, your dilation might happen a lot slower because you're not like feeling what's going on as much. So it's like, you know, the further along you can get in that dilation, like the better off it is for you to give birth. Sorry if this is so TMI, as always. But anyway, so I'm just going to talk. It literally said in the notes from my doctor, like consultation with anesthesiologist. It says nothing about being admitted to the hospital. It says nothing about like being put under surgery. So I'm like, why am I being charged? Why is my cost estimate upwards of $1,900? And it literally says admission to the hospital. I'm like, I'm not being admitted. I have an appointment to speak to somebody. So literally after riding the high of my appointment, I got to hear the heartbeat. I got to see my baby. I was there with my mom. I got a bunch of answers about all the questions I had. And then that happened. So I wrote it. I knew they weren't going to get it. They still haven't gotten it. They'll probably get the message on Monday when they're back in the office. But I wrote a message in the portal to the billing department and I was like, guys, hello, I am not being admitted to the hospital on October 17th. I have a doctor's appointment and I have a consultation with the anesthesiologist. Please explain what the actual, you know what, is going on here. So hopefully I saw that, I caught that early enough to where they can nip that in the bud, whatever the heck is the problem with that. But I'm just like, can I not go 1 month without experiencing some sort of drama? On top of everything else, I am due February 3rd of 2026. So my insurance will roll over in the new year. So I'll have new insurance, new everything, whatever. And so typically open enrollment happens in like October, November time. And at my job, they do big like open enrollment fairs where they have like all of the reps from all the different companies come out and they talk to you and they answer questions, whatever. So Eric has a friend at work who has a different insurance, and actually I have someone that I work with who's also pregnant that has a different insurance than I do, but she's literally giving birth at the same hospital group that I am. She's just at a different location with this organization, but like we're both giving birth at the same organization, and she is paying $0 for like a bunch of stuff. And I'm just like, okay, maybe I need to look into this. So again, for this year, I'm already with the people I'm with, but since the insurance rolls over on January 1, if I can get some of those benefits and those $0 hospital fees and bills and all these things, like I may switch insurance companies in 2026. I don't want to do anything crazy though. Like I want to have a very informed decision, because what I don't want to happen is me to switch to something and it ends up being worse because I didn't catch something or whatever. So I'm going to go talk to both my current insurance's rep at that event and my and this other insurance company's rep, and just really talk about the compare and contrasting of like what would be best and all of that stuff, because it's, you know, I just don't want to accidentally screw myself over by switching in the middle of a pregnancy. But also like if it ends up making everything way cheaper, I might do it. So they haven't told us when the open enrollment fair is going to be at my job, but when they do, I'm going to make sure that I go to that. Pray to God it doesn't happen while I'm out of town, because in October I am traveling, but it's towards the very end. It's like October 30th and 31st. So it shouldn't be a problem. But I pray that I'm there for that, because I really want to talk to those people. But yeah, so again, a couple steps forward, a couple steps back, but I'll let you guys know next week what the deal is regarding the whole, if they answer me back in the portal related to that anesthesiology consultation, which they decided meant that I was being admitted to the hospital. I'm like, do you guys even like rub two brain cells together? I'm pregnant. Why would I be admitted to the hospital at 16, well, by then, like 20 something weeks pregnant? I'm just like, what are you talking about? And it literally says consult in the notes from my doctor. So I'm just like, what? Oh, okay, whatever, fine. Also, another hiccup that happened, but it was nobody's fault but my own. I was a complete dummy dum-dum. So I told you guys last time we chatted that I was going to get that temporary pregnancy parking pass or handicap sticker for my car. So basically I can take it with me to any car I'm going to be in, and I can park in handicap, because with the Florida heat, it's just so unbearable that like I wouldn't do well if I ended up having to park really far from wherever I'm going. And parking like at the grocery store or at a shopping mall, like I'm not worried as much about that. I'm worried more about my job, because classes start next week and it's going to be crazy. Actually, when you're watching this, we're halfway through the first week of school for the college. But it's going to be so challenging to find decent parking. And I just know that like as the semester goes on and the more pregnant I am, it's just going to be even more and more miserable to park on campus. So, I'm going to get the temporary pass so that way I can park on campus and not, have to worry about grabbing all of my bags and equipment and having to walk a mile to get to my office from my parking spot. And then God forbid it's raining. It's just, it's better for me to have it. It really is. So I was going to get it, and I went to my doctor on Friday and I asked them to write up a letter just confirming that I'm pregnant so that I could get this pass. Because the first time I ever learned about this new bill that was passed to let pregnant women have this temporary handicap pass was through babylist.com. When I was originally building my registry, I thought I was going to build it on Babylist, because Babylist lets you basically pull from any website on the internet and create a registry where it collates all these different things together. So if like someone's buying from my registry, they could click on the item and it'll take them to Walmart.com or Amazon or Target or whatever. Like it takes you to the website of the place, but it's one registry with everything on it. And that was really appealing to me at first. But then I actually went into Target and Walmart and some of the other big places where I might be getting stuff for my like things for my baby registry, and like Amazon had everything that I wanted, and the other places were not as impressive to me. So I was just like, forget it, I'm just gonna make an Amazon list. It's way easier, and it's easy for me to add stuff as I'm continuing to learn more things about what I might need. It's just easier to add things on there, and it's similar. It's like one link that I can send to everybody. So I ended up not making my registry a baby list, but I still was getting like emails from them, and like their weekly update tip was about the temporary handicap pass or whatever. And again, foolish me, I should never just read an article and like take it for face value, but they're like, oh yeah, all you need is like a letter from your doctor that says you're pregnant, and they'll give you the pass, and you know whatever. Well, I was like, okay. So I got the letter from my doctor, but then I don't know what possessed me, but like, because Eric was going to take me to the DMV on Saturday, which for me was yesterday, and he was going to take me to the DMV, but then I decided to like look it up for the first time on Friday after my appointment had already ended. I looked it up. There's a form. There's like a special form that you have to fill out, and your doctor has to sign about the pregnancy. So like, no, they don't just need a letter from your doctor. They need there's a real form, like a government form that you have to fill out with your doctor, and it is just confirming your pregnancy, but it's not a letter. It's a form that they have to file with the state. And I'm like, duh, Ashley, of course there's a form. You work for the government. Like I was just like, I don't know what the heck happened to my brain, but it left my body. And I was so annoyed because I had just saw my doctor and I could have printed out the form, brought it to her, she could have signed it, and then I could have still gotten my pass on Saturday. And it only costs $15 to get them to print the pass for you. But I didn't have the form, and I didn't realize that I needed the form until after 5 o'clock, so I couldn't go, and they're closed over the weekend at both locations. So I was just like I was like beating myself up over it big time, because I was like, Ashley, you're so dumb. Like, of course there's a form. You really thought you were going to walk into a DMV without some sort of form? So anyways, I know it was an honest mistake, and it's not a big deal, whatever. It's whatever. It's fine. It's fine. So I will now be printing that form and bringing it to my doctor's office. I'm going to actually try to do it on Thursday. So for you guys tomorrow. So I'm going to print the form, and Thursday I have the day off of work. And so I have a nail appointment at noon. So I'm going to try to get up early, drive to my doctor's office, see if the front desk can send it to someone in the back that's assigned to me, and just get them to fill it out really quick and sign it. It's a basic form. That's what kills me even more, is the form is so simple. So they just have to put in their provider ID number and sign it and just be like, yeah, she's pregnant. And then if I can get that accomplished, if they'll sign it for me, even though I don't technically have an appointment, then my plan is to drive it straight to the DMV on Thursday. And I'm hoping that because it's a weekday, it won't be as busy. And they let residents of the county just walk in. Whereas if you're not a resident of the county, you have to have an appointment. So I'm hoping that I can just walk in, give them the signed form. I also have the letter if they need that too, which I don't know why they would need both, but I have that just in case. And then I'm going to give it to them, and then I'm going to get my little placard. So hopefully before I go away for the cruise, I'll have that taken care of. So that way when I come back, I already have the thing printed out and I can just use it whenever I have to be on campus or whatever, or anywhere. But again, my main concern is campus, because when the fall starts, all of the students come back. Over the summer, the parking is super easy. But in the fall, it gets really, really crazy. So another thing I would really like to get checked off my to-do list prior to leaving for the cruise. But if it doesn't happen, I'll just do it when I come back. But I'm just oh, please. Because my next doctor's appointment so I have the anatomy scan the week I get back. And then I don't have my next doctor's appointment until October 17th, because is that true? I think it's true, because the appointment I just had was for August. So no, I'm a liar. September 29th, I think, is my next doctor's appointment. So worst case scenario, if the doctor's we won't sign this for you unless you're with your doctor, then I'll just have to wait till September 29th to get that signed, which is 2 weeks after I get back from the cruise. So still not ideal, but also whatever, I'll just do it. But the cool thing is, I guess the silver lining to it all is that when you do get approved for this pass, it's good for a year. Because obviously going to the doctor's appointments with the baby postpartum, you're still recovering from a major medical event. So the pass doesn't expire once you give birth. It expires from a year that it was awarded to you. So because I'm a little delayed in getting it, it just gives me more time on the back end to use it, which I'm not upset about. So if let's say I go in September to get it, if I get it this week, it'll be August, but by next August, that will be actually right when I'm coming back full-time to campus, after all of my maternity leave and what all the things that I'm going to try to pull off to get myself back to work full-time. It'll be a year from now. So the end of August of 2026 will be when my temporary pass will be expired, which I think will be just fine. If I can milk it till September because of the shenanigans with the doctor, again, not ideal for me right now, but ideal for me better next year. And again, right now I'm still fine. I still feel myself. I'm showing a little bit, but I'm not I don't feel sick. I'm not super huge. I don't get super winded walking anywhere. I do get tired a lot faster. Yesterday, Eric and I did a bunch of stuff for Eli's room. Like, we just got a lot of things organized, and I was exhausted after just like moving everything around. So I do anticipate being tired more frequently, and like crashing and taking naps more often. Like, I've definitely taken a couple naps and still was able to go to bed completely normal. Like, I was still able to go to bed and like have a full night's sleep even after I took naps during the day, which is crazy because normally if I take a nap, I'm ruined and I won't go to bed on time. By the way, I just finished this section, which is so exciting. But we have so much left to talk about, so I'm just going to keep moving on down the road here. Okay, so I'm just going to scoochie this over a little bit, and I'm going to do this section right here. Normally, do I want to open both sections, or do I just want to flip the whole thing down? Maybe I'll do that. There's technically 3 perforated sections here, and then like a little sliver. I think I'm just going to flip this whole thing down, and because there's so many similar colors in this section that I just feel like taking out the colors 3 separate occasions is not where I'm at right now. So I'm literally taking this whole panel and just folding it down. So now this whole section is exposed, and I'm just going to start going to town on it. This is also, I think, what makes me diamond paint a little bit faster than the average bear, is I don't go 1 square at a time typically. I typically do big sections like this because when you have so many similar colors in a specific area, it does make it go a lot faster to just have that one color in your tray for a long period of time and just go, 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 go. Anyways, what was I talking about? Let me go back to my notes because I'm sure I got off topic here. Oh no, we were talking about the DMV. So yeah, I'm gonna try this Thursday to go to the DMV with the I'm gonna go to the doctor, try to get them to sign the thing even though I don't have an appointment, and then or I can even try sending it through the portal. That's not a bad idea either, although I don't think so. I can send things to them through the portal, but I don't think they can send attachments back to me, so I think I do have to go anyway. I learned that with my other doctor. I needed them to sign a form for me, and they got the form. They were like, but you have to come in, like, I'll sign it for you and you can just pick it up at the front desk, but like we can't scan it and send it back to you through the portal. It was like only one-way attachments, which is so annoying, but whatever. It worked out. I dropped into the doctor's office, picked up my form, and like kept going. So yeah, that's what you missed since a week ago about all of my medical drama, which I'm hoping is coming to a close very, very soon. I just can't believe, like, you know, even us talking about all of these things, it's like, we're talking about like October and like, I know it's like the end of August right now, but the fact that like, I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks on this cruise and then I'm going to come back and September's pretty much going to be mostly over at that point. It's just so like crazy to me because then October is going to come. That's going to go super fast. November is going to be like a joke. It's going to be like the blink of an eye because November 2nd, I have a wedding. November 15th, I have a wedding. And we also have Veterans Day and then Thanksgiving. So it's like, I think I'm going to work like 8 days in the month of November. And then December, we just got our winter break schedule, and I have to look at a calendar. Can I get that from here? Oh, I can. Okay. So because I forgot why. I think the governor gave people off 2 days for 4th of July this year, but my school, we only got the 1 day, which I was like, why would you give people 2? We normally only get 1 for 4th of July. It's on the 4th, or it's like the Friday or the Monday, depending on when the date falls. But for some reason, we got an extra day added to our winter break schedule. So I'm going to be out, like the university will be closed from December 22nd through January 2nd. So I have those 2 weeks completely off. So I only work 3 weeks in December. It's like the 1st, 2nd, 3rd week. So the 19th of December will be my last day of work before winter break. And then in January, I will come back to work on the 5th of January. But then I only have 4 weeks of work, like the week of the 5th, 12th, 19th, and 26th. And then I'm supposed to be due on the 4th. So my maternity leave, if I go full term, my maternity leave will start on February 2nd. So I'll just take all of February off. I'm not even going to like play games with like going to work in February at all. So, but if I go into labor early, like in January, it'll start sooner. But yeah, my plan is to like start my FMLA stuff like in the beginning of February. So it's going to come so fast. It's going to be a freight train. Oh, and then like Thanksgiving weekend is my baby shower. Like my family's the one that they're throwing for me. So it's just going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. I feel like truly this Sunday that I'm in right now, this is like the last weekend of like nothingness, peace. So I'm really trying to enjoy it. This is helping. You guys are helping. But like, I'm looking at my schedule and I'm just like, holy smokies. Also on Friday, because that wasn't enough things that happened on Friday, I did go to the gym again, which again was really great. I'm only really going on Fridays right now. I went last Friday and I went this Friday. Just doing arm workouts because again, the arm equipment does not restrict my tummy at all. So I feel comfortable using those machines without feeling like I'm hurting Eli or anything. Oops, this almost went in the wrong area. Hold on, I'm just scooting it down. So yeah, I went and did arms. My arms are definitely a little bit sore, but I like the feeling of being sore because I just feel like it means that it's working. Like I'm actually doing something I'm supposed to. I don't really think my arm workouts are helping much with like weight, so to speak, but I just feel like it makes me feel like I'm stronger. And you know, as much as like there's a lot of other parts of your body that are going to be used primarily during the laboring process. I'm just thinking post-labor, I'm going to be needing the arm workout. Like I'm going to be needing to have strong arms. And again, there's exercises I can do at home to strengthen my pelvic floor and my core and all that doesn't hurt baby. And so I'd rather do that in the comfort of my own home versus like a gym with all of the dude bros staring at me. But yeah, I went on Friday with my friends to the gym. That was really good. I told you guys I'm getting my nails done on Thursday. I was kind of in a conundrum. So I got these done when I found out that Eli was a boy. So again, this is what my nail situation is right now. They're cute, but they're super, super duper grown out. And I know that, and I feel gross about how grown out they are. But I was kind of trapped because I was like, well, if I get my nails done after like 4 weeks, then by the time I need to get my nails done again, like they'll be super grown out right when I'm going on vacation. And I don't want grown out nails for a vacation. So I was like, I need to get my nails done closer to when we're going to Alaska. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? So I was like, I guess I'll just grin and bear it now and have long nails right now because it doesn't matter as much. And then I'll get my nails redone like the week before. So this Thursday will be... Again, I have to look at the calendar because I don't know what day it is ever. This Thursday will be the 28th of August, and I'm leaving, 2 weeks later on September 9th for the cruise. So like it'll still have been like 2 weeks, but that works out because then when I get back from my cruise, probably like a week later, I can get my nails done for October, which will be so fun because normally I get like fun Halloween nails in October, but because I have a wedding at the end of the month, right before I go away for the wedding, I can get my like pretty wedding nails done for like, and they'll be like fresh for that. So it's all working out. Don't judge me that I have a nail schedule. It just makes my little heart happy. You know what I really need to do? I need to like write it down, like every 4 weeks, 5 weeks, like this is when you get your nails done. Because every year I try to time it right where my nails are getting done, where they're cute for certain holidays or like events. And then I always like somehow like I skip a week or I forget to make an appointment or I do it a week earlier. I hate doing it a week earlier than I'm supposed to because then I feel like it's kind of like I'm losing a week's worth of money. Because like there are some people who go get their nails done every 2 weeks. That is not me. I like to milk it until they look crazy. So it's like I prefer to like usually get my nails redone at the 4-week mark because then I really feel like I got my money's worth out of my manicure. Also, I only usually get manicures. I never get pedicures, but for special events, I do get a pedicure. So when I go this week coming up for my nails, I'm going to get a pedicure too for the cruise because I'm like, I got to treat myself. Got to get a pedicure for the cruise. So that'll be happening on Thursday. And then I know I had mentioned it a couple times, but yesterday on Saturday, Eric and I spent the entire morning like moving stuff all over the place. Eli's room is mostly there, like as far as being empty is concerned, but like there's still just like random boxes of things that we need to like sort through and move out. A lot of that had to do with getting these cabinets organized, which, okay, Ashley, note to self, at the end of this video, insert footage of baby Eli's heartbeat, and I also have footage of him, like, of him, like, the sonogram thing, so I'll show you guys that too. And then note number 2, Ashley, show the cabinets. I have them organized now, so I know the top still looks like a hot mess, but the inside actually, we moved a bunch of stuff out of his room, and I, like, all my coloring supplies and like a bunch of diamond painting stuff, like we organized all of my Magic the Gathering cards, like all of these inside of the cabinets have the stuff in them that they're supposed to. This corner cabinet is all of my coloring supplies. I have plans to like reorganize the cabinet itself to make it like better like looking, but all of the supplies are in there. So like underneath my desk, I used to have all my markers and I used to have all my stuff. Now all of this is virtually empty down here, and it's all in the cabinet along with all the stuff that I had in the other room. This second cabinet is all of my like diamond painting storage containers and my light pads, or actually the light pads might be in that one. It's just, it has like my binder in it with all my sticker sheets. It has my Treasure Quest card folder. All of that like is in this one. The third one has my spare drills boxes that store all my spare drills, and also just some random stuff and my light pads. So that one needs a little bit of TLC, but like there's only so much I can do because the boxes for the spare drills are pretty big. Also, I have 2 boxes in there that are empty. So I'm probably not going to keep the empty ones in there. I just have to figure out where I'm going to put them. But they're like extra spare drill storage boxes. But I'm only using 2 right now. I have 1 for rounds and 1 for squares, but I have 2 extra. So I'm trying to decide what I want those to be. It might, for temporarily, I don't want this to be the forever like home of these things, but temporarily it might be where I put all of my enhancement drills that I have like in the bottles, because right now they're still like on top of my desk over there, because they used to be in those Diamond Art Club sleeves turned like sideways and like stacked. I want to have a pretty top display for my enhancement drills, but like for now, just for organization purposes, I might put those all in one of those empty boxes, but like TBD on that. If I find a better solution sooner, I might change my mind because I really want to like have them on the top. And then the 4th cabinet over there in the corner by my closet where all the diamond paintings are, that one has all my Magic the Gathering supplies. And again, that's what I want to go in there. I'm gonna make it prettier in the future, like make my deck boxes in a better way and like whatever, but that's where that lives. And then on my top here, my plan is to have something displaying my like pens that I have. I do have something here that holds a bunch of my pens, but I'm trying to figure out a cool way to like store the supplies that I use the most often up top. I want to have an enhancement drill, kind of like apothecary setup that's really cool. And then I think I want to get some Lego up there too, because Lego is another big thing that I love to do. So I think displaying some Lego intermixed with my diamond painting stuff would be really cute. And some other knickknacks that are just very Messy Girl Crafts, Ashley themed things. The octopus will not be there anymore. So, it's evolving. Maybe a cute candle or something. I don't know. And then on the wall, because I spent a lot of time yesterday like reorganizing Eli's room and like getting a bunch of boxes that had a bunch of like old artwork that I haven't pulled out in a long time, there are some posters that I found that I think would look nice in here. From like different things like music and theater and just artwork that I have. Like in St. Petersburg, Florida, they have a Salvador Dali museum, and I have an artwork from him that I would love to put up there. I also have a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge from San Francisco, and that was one of the stops that Eric and I went on our honeymoon. So like there's some cute pieces of art that I might want to like put up on the wall in here. I also have to hang my Lego Mona Lisa, so maybe she'll go up on the wall. So yeah, there's some things that are still over there that I need to still bring over here, but it's going to be like a slow progress just because like I don't want to just throw things on the wall and then hate where it's placed and have to move it. So I think I might try to like methodically work my way either from that side to this side or vice versa. And then I'm also contemplating getting a Messy Girl Crafts sign of some sort to put up there. I think that would be really cute. I had thought about maybe like designing something myself or drawing something myself and then having it made into like a custom diamond painting. But then I was like, that feels like a little, I don't know. I was like, that, because I'm sure there's other diamond painting stuff that I'm going to put on the wall. So I was like, maybe I just do something else, like maybe a neon sign or something really cool. Something that also looks good on camera. So TBD on whatever that turns into. But I'm thinking of putting a sign there because obviously like this is where I film all my things and like this is the channel. And so yeah, I think I finished this color. I'm like, why am I not working on my W.I.P right now? And I was like, I think it's because I finished the color and I got distracted, as per usual. So yeah, baby's heartbeat, imaging from baby, showing off my cabinets. Stay tuned to the end of the video for all of those fun activities. What else was I going to tell you guys about this week? Oh, so what we moved out of Eli's room, so it's like a what is it called? Like a domino effect. All we were supposed to do was, there was a tall dresser that I had to move out of Eli's room that was kind of being used as a TV stand. I had to move that dresser out of Eli's room and into our master closet. And then we have those it's like a 3x3 or like we had 2 9-square cubby systems that were stacked on top of each other where the dresser had to go. And those we were moving from being stacked like this to being next to each other like this. So it was like 9 cube and 9 cube. And that was going against another wall in our closet. And that's usually where Eric and I stored like our socks, underwears, bras, undershirts. Like it's like that type of stuff. So it just goes in a bin. It doesn't have to be like folded or anything. So we had to move it from the upright part of our closet to like the sideways part underneath where our hanging clothes are. But then obviously that means we had to take everything that was there out of the closet, vacuum, put the white things there, put all the cubes back in it. Then we had to empty the dresser, move the dresser into it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. So we were so tired after doing that. Oh, and then Saturday. So after we finished doing all that, we grabbed lunch for ourselves. Then we went over to my friend Cynthia's house, and she was baking cookies with Ryan, her daughter. And so we got to try her cookies, which, excuse me, were delicious. She made a vanilla sugar cookie, chocolate cookie, and like a raspberry jam cookie, which was actually delicious. It was really funny. We kept calling them boob cookies because they kind of looked like boobs. But they were delicious. They were my favorite one, actually. So we were there while they made cookies, and then we decided we had wanted to go to dinner to this like this place that did like really good Asian food. They had like dumplings and pan-fried bao buns and like just different like soups and stuff, and we were really excited to go. We didn't realize that this was only like the second week that this place was open, so the wait time was 1 hour and 20 minutes. I was like, I don't care, I'm eating here because my pregnancy craving wants it desperately, and I've been like thinking about it all week long, and so like I have to eat here. So everyone else politely obliged my craziness, and they were like fine. So we were in like a shopping center, so we went over to the Barnes and Noble and just let the kids pick out books, and they were just like sitting on the floor reading their books. They were being so good. And so we kind of hung out in Barnes and Noble for a while we waited for our text for the table. We got our text for the table. We went back to the restaurant. We waited some more because it was really funny. They had cleared 1 4-top because we were technically 7 because we were 5 with 2 kids. So they had cleared 1 4-top, and there was a 4-top right next to it that they were trying to like push together so that we could all sit obviously together. And there was this like one like pair of individuals that we assumed were on like an awkward first date. They were at this like 4-top table where it's like 2 and 2, but they were sitting next to each other, and they were like awkwardly like trying to have conversation, and they were like staring at the food and staring at each other, but they were sitting next to each other. It was just really funny. And so the whole time my friend Cynthia was like, if they don't get up, I'm gonna like go over there and start crop dusting or something because we need them to go. We're hungry. And I was like, girl, go for it. I'll help you. I don't care. So eventually, they still didn't get up. So we waited to the point where another table had opened and we were able to sit somewhere else. So we sat somewhere else, but we sat, like, it was great. The food was delicious. Eric and I both have, like, stomach aches. Like, we definitely overate, but it was so good. So that was dinner Saturday night. It's kind of far away from our house. It's kind of like a 30-minute drive, but it's worth it every once in a while. We definitely said, like, this isn't like somewhere we would go like every week, but maybe like once every other month or something. It would be like a nice treat. And it wasn't super expensive, but it wasn't that cheap either. So we were like, yeah, this is like a once in a while restaurant, but it's really good. Like, if you're craving like dumplings, it's worth it. So yeah, that was really fun. We went there Saturday night. And then we went back to our friend's house and we were just like watching like funny fail videos, which was hilarious. And I proceeded to go in and out of consciousness between the hours of 9 p.m. and midnight. I would wake up, laugh, fall back asleep, wake up, laugh, fall back asleep. And that was kind of hilarious because it was like, I would like jump right back into the conversation. They were like, weren't you like asleep 2 seconds ago? I was like, listen, just roll with it, okay? I'm pregnant. My body can only take so much, and I'm here physically present and sometimes mentally present when my body allows me to be. So we did that for a while, and then Eric took me home at midnight and I spilled into the bed and passed out. But that was pretty much Saturday. And then today was so exciting. I got to sleep in. Exciting thing number one. Exciting thing number two, I got to do my draft today for fantasy football. I love football. I really do. I love watching it live. I love watching it on TV. I like football. I really do. I like NFL football. I'm not that tied to college football, which I think most people think I'm crazy for that because they think college football is so much better than NFL football. I didn't have a football team in college. I went to a school that their basketball team was more of the prominent. We didn't have a football team at all, but like the basketball team was that for us, like that much hype in college. So I don't know. I just never got into college football. And back when I was in high school, the big team in Florida was UF Gators. And I was like, whatever, Gators, whatever. So it's like, I just never got into college football. But NFL football, big fan. Big fan. Am I an expert? No. When I'm drafting, do I always have to look up like mock draft stuff and practice and I always forget how to do everything? Yes. But last year, I came second in my league. And I was very, very proud of myself, which is even more impressive because normally if you don't care about NFL football or drafting or fantasy football, I'll only talk about it for a little bit, but basically normally when you're drafting for an NFL fantasy football team, normally you have one quarterback that's like on the roster that's not benched, right? You might have a backup quarterback, but usually you have one quarterback that you pick for your team. So last year was my first time doing fantasy football with my friend's family team. So like normally I would do a fantasy football league with my work people. There was a guy that was super into it and he would always organize a fantasy team every year and I would participate every time. But that was with work. He doesn't work for my college anymore. And so I took like a year off of fantasy football, but then my friend's husband also has a league where he does it with his family, and they asked me if I wanted to join because they were down a person, and I was like, sure, like I haven't played in a while, but I'd love to, and so they brought me back on again this year, and last year I didn't know it, but again, like I said, normally you have one quarterback. This time they had a flex position on the fantasy team where you could have a second quarterback. So naturally everybody has two quarterbacks and then usually a third backup quarterback depending on how you like to draft. So last year I didn't know that. So I only drafted two quarterbacks. I drafted like my main and what I thought was my backup. But in reality, it was like my flex and my main. So I was like, and I didn't draft my quarterback early because normally in a normal draft situation, you're not drafting a QB first. You're drafting them like probably like in the middle somewhere, like early middle to middle, depending on what draft position you are. I was position number 10 on a team of 10 teams. So I had a great position because what happens is when you do a snake draft, if you're number 10, it's a snake. So it goes 1 to 10, then 10 to 1, then 1 to 10, then 10 to 1. So because I was the last position on the 10 teams, I got to pick two things in a row. So I got to do like running back, wide receiver, QB, or whatever I wanted to do. Actually, I wrote it down. because I'm a big nerd. I have it here. I literally, like, this is how I did it. In case anybody does like drafting football, this is what I ended up doing for my draft. You might think it's crazy. You might look at this and think I'm absolutely insane for how I did that. But I think it worked out very well for me. I got, actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me just take a full moment. I have my team here. So again, in case anybody cares, I'll share with you who I drafted for. I'm not going to tell you them in the order I drafted them. I'm just going to tell you based on the roster because that's what I have pulled up. So my main quarterback is Jared Goff from the Detroit Lions. Then for my 2 wide receivers on the field, I have CeeDee Lamb and I have Xavier Worthy. Those are my 2 wide receivers. Then my 2 running backs are Christian McCaffrey and Kenneth Walker III. Then my tight end is Travis Kelce. Ha ha ha, because I have to. I can't believe I got him, to be honest. But I did. He's really not the greatest. He's really not the greatest tight end ever. Like, there are other better tight ends out there, but I just had to do it for my girl. So I have Travis as my tight end. Then I have as my flex, I have 2 flex positions for wide receiver, running back, and tight end. So I grabbed Jacoby Myers, who is a wide receiver, and I grabbed David Montgomery, which is a running back. So those are in my flex positions right now. And then because this league does double quarterbacks, there's another flex position that could be quarterback, wide receiver, running back, or tight end. And so I have JJ McCaffrey as my second quarterback, so to speak. And then I have on my bench, I have Austin Eckler, which is a running back. I have Rashid Shaheed, which is a wide receiver. And then I have Cam Ward, which is the Tennessee quarterback, as a backup for me. And then Brenton Strange as my backup tight end. And then I have Marvin Mims Jr. as another wide receiver bench position. But then I have Cameron Dicker as my kicker. Dicker is my kicker. And then Tyler Bass is my backup kicker. Then Philadelphia. I was so proud of this. I got Philadelphia defense. I was like, yes, go Eagles. Philadelphia defense, and then I have Houston defense as my backup to Philadelphia. And I was like super strategic about it. Like, I made sure that none of my bye weeks were the same, or like if I wanted to make sure I had enough flex players where their bye weeks were different, just in case because last year, again, it's a miracle that I got into second place last year, because not only did I not draft the appropriate amount of quarterbacks, I also had so many injured players on my roster last year, and I had to do so many trades. It was a lot. But anyways, I'll stop talking about fantasy football now. But just know that if you are into fantasy football or NFL football, feel free to drop a comment below and let me know what your thoughts are. And if you are in a fantasy league and if you drafted any of the same players I did, or if you have someone completely different. As far as like who I root for, I mean, I'm in Florida, so like I feel like I have to be a Miami Dolphins fan. Not really. Like, there's a couple Florida teams in the NFL. I don't root for Jackson Jaguars. I do not root for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even though I'm in Tampa. I'm a Miami Dolphins girl, because that's how I was raised. And I was raised right, even though they're not that great. But I don't care. I claim the Dolphins. I do claim the Tampa Bay Lightning, though. I am a Lightning fan. I'm also, I grew up a Panthers fan as well for hockey. So like Tampa and Panthers, like I'm torn there. The Lightning and the Panthers, I actually do have love for both teams. I've loved hockey for a long time. So I genuinely was a Panthers fan before I moved here. But then the Lightning are just, they're so good, right? So it's like, how can I not be a Lightning fan? And I've actually gone to a couple Lightning games and they're so fun. So for hockey, I support Panthers and Lightning. But for football, Miami Dolphins. And then baseball, Marlins fan. Can't take a girl out of South Florida. What can I say? So, yeah, not that you asked what my athletic alignments were, but that's what they are. My mom is born in Pennsylvania, so she's actually an Eagles fan. So I always love to draft an Eagles when I can. And they like killed it and won the Super Bowl last year, so whatever. So that's cool. So yeah, big Philly fan over there. And then David is from New York, and I don't think he's a Jets fan. I think he's a Giants fan. I actually have to ask him I don't think he cares about football as much, but I think if I asked him, he would probably be a Giants fan. I don't know. I'll ask him. I'll ask him a report back. And then Eric's stepdad's mom, who passed away a year or so ago, she was a big Buffalo Bills fan, which I always like have a soft spot in my heart for the Bills just because she loved them so much. And it was like so funny. Like she would cheer them on in like the worst dire straits situations. And I was like, I hope they win for you, Meme. I really hope they win for you. But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as that. But I did my draft. I told you guys who I drafted. And so I will report back on how I'm doing throughout the season. Hopefully I don't dive bomb. I will say, I'm used to doing the NFL fantasy draft like in the NFL app or whatever, or the ESPN app, but this league likes to do the Yahoo fantasy team, and so that took some getting used to too, because it was just like a little bit different. But the Yahoo fantasy draft, they give you a grade, and I got like a D+. I was like, that means I'm gonna win, right? Because I feel like that's like they're full of crap. But yeah, I did not score well on the fantasy elitist ranking of how they would have ranked my picks, but I feel like it's going to be a good year for me. So we'll see. Last kind of like life update before I talk about diamond painting stuff, mostly, is something that I'm so humbled by, I must say. Like, I can't even believe I'm saying this out loud, but a few of my friends in the diamond painting community have decided that they want to throw me a virtual baby shower. So we are going to be honoring little Eli Ross on October 20th. Let me make sure I get that date right, because I don't want to say it wrong. Yes, October 20th, at 6 or 6:30 p.m. Central Time. I can't remember if it's 6 or 6:30, but so it's being hosted by Carra, who is the principal painter, Michaela from Michaela Renee, Courtney from Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, and Michelle. And Michelle is actually one of my channel members, which is like crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet of you. So those four lovely women have decided to host a baby shower for me and Eli. And so again, it's going to be on October 20th. Check out their specifically Carra, because I don't know if Michelle has a channel, but Carra, Courtney, and Michaela, they created an invitation with the link to my registry, and they all posted it on their community tab on their YouTube channels. So if you go to any of their YouTube channel community post pages, you'll see the invitation there with the link. I'll also put the date, I'll make sure I have the real time. I'll put the date, the time, and the link to my registry in the description box below of this video. No pressure. Please, guys, no pressure on the registry. I can't even believe that these girls are hosting this event for me. I'm very, very humbled. Also, Jade from Jada Gem Shop, she reached out to me privately and she was like, oh my gosh, like pregnancy twins. Jade and I are due like very close together. We got pregnant like almost around the same time. So her and I were like geeking out over that as well. So yes, Jade and I are very much aware that we are both pregnant at the same time, and we're both very excited about it. And we've been like messaging each other back and forth, like checking in on how we're feeling and what's going on, whatever. So that's been really fun. Someone on one of my other videos said that pregnancies happen in threes and that who else is going to be pregnant. So everyone keep your eyes peeled for another diamond painting related creator that's going to get pregnant. Hopefully someone does soon that's wanting to be pregnant, because that would be really fun. But anyways, so yeah, those lovely four ladies are hosting a virtual baby shower for me. I'm going to make sure that Eric is there for it too, and so when Eric gets home from work, hopefully he'll just jump right in with me if we get started on time. He should be like walking in the door around that time, so we'll be ready to go. And yeah, anything that you guys end up purchasing for me and sending to my house, I will kind of keep it in Eli's room to the side, and I will try my best not to open it and see what's going on until the shower. I'll just try to make sure that it's something from someone on the channel and not something from a family member, because obviously I have to open those at my in-person baby shower, which is going to be a month later. Yeah, because October 20th, that's about a month before my shower or a little bit over a month away from when my real shower is going to be with my family. So I definitely made sure I added extra things to my registry so that way everyone has options. There's stuff on there that's really cheap, and then there's some bigger ticket items. Again, I can't stress this enough. Please do not feel pressure to go nuts on that registry. I appreciate anything and everything that you guys are willing to support me and Eric with in this first pregnancy. We have lots of stuff in there because we don't know what we're going to need, and we don't know what Eli's going to like or not like. So we have various options on a bunch of different things, but I can't believe that I have friends like that in this community that are willing to do something so kind and special for me. So to those 4 women, thank you so much for hosting this for me. I'm so grateful. And I think it's going to be a really good time. So they're already thinking of like games we can play virtually and stuff. And I'm like, you guys are doing the most. So yeah, there'll be games. We'll do, obviously Eric and I will unbox our presents on the live. It's on Carra's channel. So the live is like her normal Monday night live on her channel. And again, if you go into the community post, you should see all the information there, but I'm going to put in the description box of this video, again, the date, the time, and the link to the registry in case anybody wants that. Or if you can't make the live and you still want to be able to get something, that's fine too. We're still going to be doing shout outs for everybody who gets us stuff on the registry. So again, thank you in advance for anyone who chooses to help in that way. But obviously we hope we see you all at the live too. And I will actually also post in the description box below a link to Carra's live where she announced the shower as well, because she invited me and the other ladies who are hosting the shower onto her live a couple weeks back. And so she does kind of have an announcement video for that. So I will post that below as well in case you want to see us talk about the shower and hear from the women themselves who are hosting it for me. So I will have all of that good information in the description box below. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on like in the life right now. Diamond painting wise, what did I write down? Oh, no purchases this weekend. I was definitely tempted by a few things. Also, right before I started filming this video, I saw that Diamond Art Club posted that they are coming out with like the Disney princess castles. I think it was Cinderella, Belle, and Aurora. They look so cool. They're very like vintagey castles, which I like a lot. I don't know if I'm going to grab them on the first run. I was tempted by 1 or 2 of them, I'm not going to lie. But I think I'm going to try my best to hold off just because I really want to see what comes this fall. I feel like I'm going to be tempted by a lot of the things that we see for like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, any other fall or holiday kits that come out. I'm sure there's going to be more Disney stuff. So I'm just I feel like the end of the year is always where they save their biggest, baddest releases. So I'm trying so hard to stay strong for the rest of the summer so I can see what else they have coming up. So stay tuned for that. And then also, what was I going to say? Oh, so as far as where we're at in voting for my Drills and Chills canvas, I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Embrace of the Pumpkin by Kikowa is one of the canvases that are in the running. It wouldn't have been if my Inner Circle members didn't decide to vote for it, but actually it did receive the most votes. So the way I do my membership voting for my next projects that I work on is the first round of voting is just my Inner Circle members, which is my highest tier membership. They get to vote on what 3 or 4 canvases are the top picks for a project that I'm going to work on next. And then I do a second round of voting for a week where it's my VIP squad and Inner Circle members, and they narrow that 4 down to 1. So the 4 that are in the top running for the Drills and Chills project for 2025 is Embrace of the Pumpkin by Kikowa from Unimade, Witch Bedroom by Mrs. Butter D from Diamond Art Club, Green Eyes by Aristocracy from Diamond Art Club, and Tea Time Spell by Christabug from Diamond Art Club. So those were the 4 top most voted canvases from Inner Circle's voting, and now my VIP squad and Inner Circle group are voting for the final canvas. So again, hopefully by next week's video, we will have an answer as to what we're going to work on. Embrace of the Pumpkin is already kitted up and started, so if that is the one that they choose to have me work on, my plan is to really hyper focus on that in September and October and finish it as part of the event and supporting the event from Katie and Lindsay's perspective. But if they pick one of the newer canvases, that's pretty much fine, because overall I picked canvases, like aside from the one that I already started, the canvases that I selected to go into voting for Inner Circle, because there were like, I think about like 12 canvases overall that I had picked as options for Drills and Chills this year. Most of them were like medium-sized canvases. They weren't like XXL or extra large or whatever. They were more like achievable for, again, the time frame of 2 months, knowing that I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks in Alaska. And then also just like things that I'm really excited to work on that would also fit into the Drills and Chills theme. Some of them had a wider interpretation than others, but I think the 4 finalists all fit the theme really, really well. The Witch Bedroom is that really fun, pretty pastel colored canvas from Mrs. Butterdee that has like the witch sitting on her bed with her cute little cat. And then Embrace of the Pumpkin is the one where it has Sally and Zero from Nightmare Before Christmas. Green Eyes is that beautiful canvas where it's a girl with white hair and vibrant green eyes, but she's leaning on a black cat that also has green eyes. So again, the black cat vibes says, you know, Halloween, October time to me. And then Tea Time Spell is another witch canvas, but it's this really gorgeous witch sitting in a windowsill with a cup of tea and a book looking out the window. And it's just like a really pretty canvas. But all of them were very manageable in size. And so I think that even if I do end up kitting up a new canvas, like those ones feel like I could definitely get them done by the end of the year, especially if I'm like hyper focusing on them during the months of the event. I think I can get pretty far on those. So yeah, I'm excited about the options. If you are interested in joining the membership so that you can be part of the voting process, it goes. The first group is DIY Darlings. They basically just get like emotes and loyalty badges. They don't vote on anything. They're just like kind of supporting the channel with like, I think $1 a month. Then the next tier is VIP Squad. They get all of the things that the DIY Darlings get, but they also get to vote on projects that I work on. And then the next, and they also get a monthly behind the scenes video. For just like what unboxings are coming up next on the channel and a bunch of things like that. And then the third tier, which is the highest tier, is Inner Circle, and they get everything that the other people get, but they also get a monthly live, and they get priority voting, so they get to vote before everybody else gets to vote on those future projects. So again, if you're interested in being part of the voting process, or maybe you want to see behind the scenes videos on the channel, feel free to join the VIP Squad or Inner Circle membership, and you can be a part of that. So again, the vote that's happening right now on those 4 canvases is going to be open till Saturday, which is I think August 30th. Let me double check. Yes, so August 30th at midnight, that's when I'm going to turn off the voting, and whatever is the top voted canvas will win, and that's the one that we will work on for Drills and Chills 2025. I'm so excited for the fall, guys. I love the fall, even though this fall is going to be particularly crazy because of baby and all of the stuff that we're doing. The fall is like some of my favorite times, like memories of the year, getting geared up for the holiday season. Spring is definitely my favorite season as far as like the weather goes and like the way the season works, but the fall energy is exciting. I love getting in the fall vibes. It's just the weather here in Florida is not giving fall, so it's not my favorite season when it comes to like the temperature and like what's going on outside. But anyways, so again, feel free to vote. If you haven't voted already and you are part of VIP Squad or Inner Circle, go vote for your favorite canvas, and we'll see what happens. Also, just like a quick note, speaking of like diamond painting stuff and YouTube and whatever, I am going to be filming double time over the next like 2 weeks leading up to the cruise, because I want to make sure that you guys like have content while I'm gone. I'm going to miss you guys so much while I'm gone. I know like you're probably like, yeah, right, Ashley, you're going to be like in Alaska living your best life. I am going to be in Alaska living my best life, but I'm also going to miss you guys. But I'm just doing this so that way my arm doesn't touch the glue. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to miss you guys a lot, but I'm excited to kind of take these next 2 weeks to film some things in advance for you guys, just so that way you guys do still have that consistent 3 videos a week content while I'm gone. But it is going to take a lot of my energy, so I'm going to do my best and make sure that I have all of that filmed and edited. So I'm probably basically going to be filming like every day, something. So that way it's all edited and beautiful. So when I leave for the cruise, I just don't even have to think about it. I don't want to be editing or doing anything like that while I'm on this trip. I just want to focus on family and having a good time. So I'm definitely going to be like power filming over the next 2 weeks, but it'll be fun. It's all fun content. I've had it planned for a while, so I think you guys are going to enjoy it, but just a heads up on that. So if you see some repeating outfits, just don't judge me. Other than that, I think we covered pretty much everything. I know it's question of the day time. Now I just have to find the book. It's like I had it in a spot where I was like, oh, I can just grab it, but then I feel like I moved it. So let me check if it's in the cabinet really quick. Are you in here? No? Oh, where did I stick the book? This is the problem with me, is I just like put things places. Oh, I remember. No, not there. Yes. I put it in here. I was like, where is it? Here it is. Do I have the pen in here too? Yes, I do. Okay. I was like, I feel like I put it somewhere where I would be like, gosh, Ashley, it's so convenient because it's right there. And then I forgot where I put it. This is 2,000 Questions About Me. If you've never seen a Whip and Chat from my channel before, this is a book that I got for $5 at Walmart. And basically it has 2,000 questions in it. And so every week we pick a random number and we ask that question. I answer it for you in the video. And then you guys are more than welcome, if you're comfortable, to answer it in the comment section below. Also, fun fact about that, I also found, when I was cleaning out Eli's room and the closet from all of the stuff that we were moving around, I found this. 3,000 would you rather questions. Same thing, pretty much. It's just like, these are questions about me, but this is a would you rather. So I thought, once we get through this book, wouldn't it be fun to do this book? Like, it's just like, would you rather this versus this? Like, this band versus this band, or this job or this job, or fun things. So yeah, it's basically the same concept where we can ask would you rather questions, and then we can like do them on the channel. So how fun. So we have 5,000 questions worth of books to go through. So just know that that's on standby. But anyways, let's pick a question of the day. So question of the day, we will pick number 322, because that's the DMC that I'm working on. That's my lazy pick every time, is what DMC am I on. 322. I've actually never had it repeat yet. I've never actually accidentally picked a number that we've already picked once before. So that's kind of funny. Okay, 322. Yes. If you were going to poison someone, how would you do it? Wow. Okay. Not me getting demonetized on YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. We'll just talk in hypotheticals. Let me preface by saying I would never ever harm another human, ever. But this is the question. There it is. If you were going to poison someone, how would you do it? So, funny story, actually. Hold on, let me go back to the question, just because like I always do that. Yeah, if you were going to poison someone, how would you do it? So, funny story. Not about me poisoning someone, but so yesterday on Saturday, I told you guys that I went to my best friend's house, and she was making cookies with her daughter, and we were trying them or whatever. When we went to Barnes and Noble to wait for the restaurant to call us and saying that our table was ready, the book that Ryan picked was a sticker activity book, and it had Dogman on it. I don't know. I've never heard of Dogman. I've never seen the Dogman cartoons. Maybe you guys are more familiar with Dogman than I am, but I don't know anything about Dogman. But it was a sticker book, and her mom, I guess, like wasn't paying attention to her or something, but Ryan in the store starts to take the stickers out of the book and put the stickers in the book. So my friend was like, okay, well, I guess we're buying that now because you've started using the book. And Ryan was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, you aren't sorry. You wanted that book. So anyways, while we were at dinner, Ryan was playing in the sticker book. So she was taking the stickers out of the back of the book, putting them on these little like panels and scenes and stuff. And when we got back to the house after dinner, before Ryan went to bed, I was like Ryan was like, look at my book. And she was showing me like where she put all of her stickers. And Ryan had created, kids are so creative and funny. She created an entire story about how there was this female news reporter who was poisoned by a cat with a cupcake. So the cat poisoned the news reporter with a cupcake, and the news reporter turned into Dogman. And then throughout the situation, the cat and the Dogman eventually became friends, and then somehow I think they had a child at some point, and they had a baby kitten, and they were like caring for their baby kitten child. Again, this is all from a 6-year-old, okay? So just follow me here. So again, cat poisons news reporter with cupcake. Reporter turns into Dogman. Dogman proceeds to fall in love with cat, has baby kitten. Baby kitten then grows razor sharp claws and tries to attack Dogman, which is, again, remember, the original female news reporter is now Dogman and is now being attacked by his child. Then the cat, the big cat, I guess, steps in at some point and tries to save the day, and save Dogman from the baby cat. And then somehow the baby cat got into a clone machine and created an army horde of baby cats that were all doing different things, like brushing their teeth and yawning and making cookies. And there was like 50 stickers on this one page of this baby cat doing different activities. And then I asked Ryan, I was like, so how did Dogman get healed so that they could become the female news reporter again? And she was like, well, she was like, they played this game where the cat threw the cupcake and the dog had to catch it. And when the dog caught the cupcake, they turned back into the news reporter. I was like, oh, okay. So again, last night, this is so funny the question was today, because like that last night she tells me this whole story. So again, to recap, so you're following. The female news reporter was poisoned by the cat and became Dogman, which is a police officer, okay? So turns into Dogman, the police officer. Then the cat and the Dogman fall in love and they have a baby kitten. Baby kitten turns evil, tries to kill Dogman, the father. Then the big cat steps in, tries to save Dogman from their child. And then cat throws a cupcake to Dogman, and then Dogman turns back into a female news reporter. Oh, and there's now a horde of evil baby kittens that are doing mundane daily tasks, like brushing their teeth. So I guess if I had to pick on how I would poison someone, it would be to poison a cupcake and have them turned into an animal of some sort. That's what I would do. But let me know in the comments below. How would you? Again, let's not have any confessions below. Don't make it weird. But if you had to imaginarily, hypothetically poison someone, how would you go about that? And let's make it fun and less scary. How would you? What would be the secret potion to heal the person from the poison? Would it be that they have to catch a tossed cupcake, or would it be some sort of chemical or some sort of drink or potion they would have to drink, or maybe some action or activity they would have to do? Let me know in the comments below. Again, keep it clean, people, as best you can. And yeah, so that is pretty much everything. We just finished question of the day, and I have a little bit more of this color left to go, but I'm getting there. So let me just get this good before I just start chatting. Yeah, so again, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you had fun listening to my weekly updates on life and diamond painting and our question of the day. Again, stick around. I'm going to show you a quick clip of my mom hearing the heartbeat for the first time and also seeing the sonogram, and then also I will show you guys what's going on in these cabinets below so you can see that I am making progress. Progress is being made. But anyways, I hope you have a really good week, and definitely leave a comment below and answer all my crazy questions. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget that below I'm going to have in the description box all the information about the virtual baby shower happening on October 20th. Thank you so much to those 4 ladies who are hosting that for me and Eli and Eric as well. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye! Okay, are you ready to look inside of these cabinets? Okay, so this is the first one. Ta-da! Again, it's not the prettiest thing ever, but we're working on it. So down here you have all of my coloring books and my markers. Some of my special Disney coloring books, my Ohuhu markers, some other Thule art markers that I have. All of these markers are my Thule arts that are color coordinated. I'm gonna get more of these clear plastic acrylic things to store the ones that I still have to unbox. Then up here, again, it's a hodgepodge mess. It will not look like this forever, but I have more coloring supplies, colored pencils. These are my color swatch books. This is like a color pencil holder, a couple pencil cases, more supplies and acrylic things, more everything. Posco markers, color, Crayola, super tips, and gel pens. And then up top here is my scrapbook. So this is my diamond painting scrapbook, and this is all scrapbook paper. So that's all for like my diamond painting scrapbook supplies and stuff that I need. Again, this is going to be way cuter and more organized in the future, but all of my coloring stuff is in here, and then I have that little shelf for scrapbooking. So that is cabinet number 1. Cabinet number 2 is probably the most organized and complete out of all of them. Look how gorgeous it is. So normally my Elizabeth Ward containers are right there, but obviously like I'm using them right now for my diamond painting. But that is all of my bottle case storage. So I have my big 420 bottle case system, my 60 bottle case, and my 120 bottle case. All of them are empty right now. This is my Diamond Art Club storage cases. Actually, there's only one there right now. This is a different type of storage case, but this Diamond Art Club storage case has my Jaded Gem Shop in it. But my other one is right here, and it has my Munimade canvas in it. I have it out just because I feel like I might be using it soon, but I'll put it back there when I'm not. And then these are my half-style Elizabeth Ward knockoff containers. These came from AliExpress, and then my Elizabeth Wards go right there. And then this shelf has all of my washi tape. This is all of my washi tape in these 2 containers. It has my roller that I use to like straighten out my drills on the canvas or like roll them to make sure they don't pop. Back here, that is all of my pixels. That is all my pixel sticker canvases that I own. We have all my spare trays here. So these are Bijou Bliss trays, the Diamond Art Club rainbow trays. You've got Munimade, a bunch of NYX's Notions trays, and Creations Morin trays, and then a couple Diamond Art Club trays that are the smaller ones in the back. Here you have a bunch of different things. So this big binder here is all of my sticker sheets for all of my projects. I don't store my sticker sheets with my canvases when I put them away, so they all go in here. This binder is all of my Treasure Quest cards, and then we have these two pink and white notebooks are empty. They're just like spare notebooks. This first big spiral is my sticker book. So anytime I complete like a diamond painting sticker that goes in there, it has a lot of Diamond Delights stickers in it. The book itself is from Diamond Delights, so if you want to pick one up, that's where I got it. But it has Hobby Lobby diamond painted stickers, Diamond Delight stickers, and more. Then this next spiral notebook is a notebook I got from a place I found on Instagram called Unicorn Eclipse, and they have a bunch of really cute stationery and stuff. I haven't written anything in it, but I think I'm going to use it as an enhancements note-taking book. So anytime I want to enhance a project, I'm going to put my enhancement notes in that black spiral notebook. Then right next to that is another blank notebook, and then this notebook at the very end is my diamond painting logbook. And yeah, so that's this whole beautiful cabinet done. Then the third cabinet needs a lot of work, but it's here. Please open. Down there we have just like a bunch of spare tools that I don't use every day. Like in there I have like funnels to put drills back in their storage containers. I have spare clear bottles that go in my bottle storage system. I have waxes and putties in the top of there from different companies. I have my woobles. Those are woobles right there next to it, like right here. Those are my woobles that I have not finished. Those are like crochet projects. This is my spare drill storage that actually has round drills and square drills in it. These two are the same boxes, but they're completely empty. Then we have a box of binder clips, which is what I use to actually put my lips up at the top sideways like that. So that is like my box of binder clips that I have. These are just dragon eggs. They don't belong here, but that's where they are right now. They're all different fun colored dragons. Then up here, I have my self-healing mat. Sometimes I use that when I use my Cricut or other things. That's something else that I'm probably gonna bring and put up at the top here, is maybe I'll put my Cricut there or something. And then these are my two light pads. I have a travel light pad, and then I have my Big Diamond Art Club light pad. So that is this cabinet here. Then this one on the end is a little harder to open just because my thing is in the way. So let me try to move it gently out of the way if I can. Okay. Ugh. This is all of my Magic the Gathering stuff. So all of these binders down here are full of like old Magic the Gathering cards. Think like from the 80s. When I first started collecting Magic the Gathering cards, I went onto eBay and this guy was selling a big lot for like $50 of 1,000 old cards. So I just bought it because I love collecting, and I was like, this is a great way to get a collection started, and also for trading purposes. Some people like to trade for old cards, and so if there's anything of value in there, I wanted to put those in. So that's all that. These 3 binders right here, this really big one, this Phyrexia one, and this white binder, those are all of my like prized possession cards that are like rare or mythic rare, and a lot of them are worth money. So those are where like my moneymaker cards are. This is a spare playing mat that I can use to play on. Up here we have a bunch of like boxes for my different whatchamacallums, my commander decks. So these are deck boxes for my commander decks. So each of these have different decks in them. Most of them are pre-cons, which stands for pre-construction. So meaning like I just bought these that were pre-made by the company that does Magic the Gathering. So most of these are pre-cons, but this one right here, I actually built this deck by myself. It's a black and white deck, and it's really, really fun. It needs a lot of work, but it was my first deck I ever built by myself. And yeah, so these are my decks. I have some dice here, and then over here I just have cards that I need to organize. So these are like empty deck boxes that I haven't opened yet, but back here that stuff is like has cards inside of it that I still need to put away. But yeah, that is all my Magic the Gathering stuff. Eric stores his in a different place. But yeah, that is my entire cabinet system. And then up top here, again, I have some posters that I'm thinking about hanging on the wall, not necessarily in those frames. I have to take them out of the frames, but like I'm thinking about putting them here. And then I have another filming lamp light situation, ring light thing here in this basket. That's all of my special projects for diamond painting. So not canvases, but like special projects. I have some candles. These are all my enhancement drills. These are this is another special project. If you guys remember me opening those really pretty circle door hangers from Barn, I think it's Red Barn Diamond Art. So I have those to do, and then this is for my this is for, what is it called? Tea Party from Ivy Dolomore. This is my enhancement drills for that project that I haven't finished yet. Then we just have like more crap. This is a bunch of garage sale stuff and stuff that we're giving away. But anyways, that is the cabinet situation, but doesn't it look so clean and good? So eventually we're gonna get all this stuff off of the top. We're gonna hang some of that stuff, and then these are gonna get kind of reorganized as more stuff goes in them, but they're looking really good. So yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. This is how it was the first time too.
My favorite thing to do is go find the V scan and
see where you really.
That was even.
Yeah. Grandma.
Bouncy.
Eli J.
All the bouncing.
I know.
Must be getting closer.
Last time I found my heartbeat first, and then he was like near me. Aww.
You want more jelly or good?
Actually, I want a V scan. I'm gonna make this easy.
You want me to grab it?
You know where it is? Back
Yeah,
by where Sarah
let me grab
sits.
it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Sorry.
What's a V-scan?
It's a little mini ultrasound. I can look at it.
We can't look at it.
Yeah.
We can look at it? What a shame we can't hear the heartbeat. Dang.
I mean,
Oh, we will. We will. Just we'll find.
No,
time
I
to
mean,
find it, yeah.
now we get to see. It's
Yeah,
a sneak
yeah.
peek. There. There you go.
Little Eli.
Eli, hi.
Say hi, Grandma.
Hi, Eli.
Isn't that crazy?
My baby's having a baby.
That's her head.
Oh, hey, dude. Oh my God, you're good. You're good.
Oh, he waved. He waved at me.
Oh my
It's
God.
the best, isn't it?
Well, it's just he looks like a baby now. Like look at his, you can see like his fingers.
He just waved.
Is that his foot in the like top right? Like what is that little?
This right here is the
Yeah.
arm, and there's an arm down there, and this
Okay.
heart was right there. It's frozen on me now right now.
Oh,
Real time.
That was
right?
so.